Hey Fashionpreneurs, my name is Jess and welcome to the Fashionpreneur Diaries. Hey Fashionpreneurs, welcome back to the Fashionpreneur Diaries. Today I have an entry that won't be really long, but I just wanted to get straight to it and keep you guys inspired. I know it's the holiday season, so I know you guys are probably super busy, about to spend time with your families and relax and enjoy. So I hope you guys have a really great holiday season. And this is the time of year where I get a little irritable. I'll tell you why. I am very peaceful, but it could be a challenge trying to be a CEO, especially during a holiday season. Black Friday is coming up, and it is super imperative and crucial that we are prepared with all of our products, all of our inventory is ready to go. On top of that, this is the time of year where I always decide to make a bunch of shifts in my business. So Q4, quarter four is always it. October, I always spend that month just creating nonstop goals. I write them out. November, I start to formulate them and strategize when I can start rolling each thing out. And December is when I start to, I would say, organize the team that's necessary in order for this to become my reality. So, long story short, I'm in that season where we are now making a bunch of shifts and we already have the team that's putting a lot of things into place. We're hiring a couple people, but we have the team for the most part, and it's a lot of growing pains. Everybody's doing something new for the first time, and it could be very challenging. And me as the CEO, it's my job to coordinate and make sure that everybody does their job effectively and they have all the necessary tools. So one thing I want you guys to know as a fashionpreneur, a CEO in this industry, you want to make sure that you are giving every person the tools that they need to be successful. And this sounds super cliche, but it's real. Like, have you given everybody the tools that they need? For example, I know that I am an advocate of training. I've invested in leadership training programs for my staff. I've invested in book programs for my staff. And I think it's crucial that we continue to have that mindset. So I was just telling one of my team members earlier, like, we're about to do diversity trainings. We're about to do more leadership trainings, a phase 2 of it. So it's crucial that I start formulating those things. And in the process of formulating all of those things, I am, like I said, having a lot of team members transition their job titles. I am having team members, new team members joining us. And we're also rebranding. So we're rebranding, we're changing the look of our line because we are expanding. I told you guys we're adding wholesale items. So we are in a process of changing the look of our brand. We're changing the aesthetic. And that is a lot of work because that's going to change who we're attracting in a sense. We still have our OGs, but we want to attract a new consumer and we want our brand to have a super high end feel. So we realized that we have to kind of pivot and change the direction. So that could be scary and it could be a lot. So today was definitely one of those days where I just was not in the mood. It took everything to make sure that I was here in this podcast studio today. I have not ate yet today. This entire week has just been very ghetto for as far as work. Everything was fine up until like yesterday. Everything just went to crap. And like I had to start creating systems. So I'm here on creating solutions rather. So I'm here on 2 hours of sleep max. And I still have a lot to do. And that feeling is extremely overwhelming. But I realized that I had to make some shifts to my day-to-day today to make this not happen again in the future. So I want to tell you guys some things that I do when I'm just simply not in the mood as a CEO. So it might sound cliche, but life is a cliche. But I want you guys to know first and foremost, you already know I pray. So the first thing I did this morning, I started my day with prayer. I asked for God to give me the strength to get through this day and give me the strength to be the best leader. Because one thing about me is I always know that my team is watching and people are watching. And I think it's crucial that we get through it and figure it out. No matter how long it takes, we have to figure it out. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to figure it out. So that's how I started my day. But like I said, things started to go left yesterday. My schedule started to get discombobulated because one of my appointments got pushed back. I tried to finish all my work. I was trying to edit a video, which I haven't done in years. That became really frustrating. I found out that some of my content wasn't able to be used. So I was like, oh, crap. So it was just a long day. I missed a really important call because I fell asleep because I was really, really, really exhausted. I fell asleep and I missed a really important call from somebody I really wanted to talk to. And that made me sad. Then I woke back up and then I couldn't fall back to sleep. I had all this on my mind. So I started writing in my journal, writing in my phone, writing out my next day, formulating systems, actually hitting people up at 3 a.m. like, yo, you think this is an option? Because I know it's other people that don't sleep like me. And I just felt so anxious. And when I got up, I was like, yo, I got to start this day with just straight prayer. Like, I don't even want to touch my phone. I don't want to talk to nobody. I just got to start with prayer. So that's how I started. I had issues with my office. We've been in this process of getting this interior design done, and I was just really flustered with that. Like, it was just everything. Like, this week was just like, I need to make sure that everybody's doing their job, right? And I felt like not everybody was doing their job. Like, you got to do your job. I didn't feel like people were doing their job. And I hate when I feel this way because I start to look at it within everybody. Like, all right, well, are you doing your job? And I don't want to be that way. So I had to just take a moment, pray, and I meditated. And I don't know. I don't always meditate. It's something I do when I'm really, really, really stressed. And I realized the importance of adding into my day-to-day. I know the importance of meditating is focusing on your breathing. And that's what I did this morning for like a solid 10 minutes. And I felt a little better. So I was really excited about that. So that's something else I've been doing. Also, I understand that if I'm not able to be the best leader that day, I take that day, not off, but I take that day to not be as communicative with the staff. So I might not talk to you as much. I might just send a text like, hey, here's my day today, but I'm gonna fall back. So I know that that's crucial. And I think that we have to understand the importance of energy. I was talking to one of my friends recently, and I remember that he told me, like, you know, I'm just taking a day to do some hiking and walk outside today because I need to get my energy right. And I was like, oh, is everything okay? And he was like, yo, I just been in contact with so many energies and I just need to like take 2 days, drink my water, cleanse my body, take my herbs and be good. And I'm going to come back to the world swinging. And I was like, yo, that's so important that you take that time for yourself. And he said, when I'm in this place, I don't even like to deal with other people because I don't want to put my energy on them. And that's how I was feeling earlier. Like, yo, I'm in a bad mood and I don't want to really be around people to put that onto them. So I think we have to be responsible with our energy to know when it's in a space where it's just not great and we don't want to be around people. So don't spread it onto other people. Y'all know Auntie Tab at the Brown. I love me some Tab at the Brown. Tab always says, Auntie Tab says, you know, have a good day. And if you can't have a good day, don't you go messing up in nobody else's, okay? All right. Like so, like that. And that's what I felt like. Like, I can't go messing up everybody else's day. So I had to try to have a positive outlook. But what I don't ever like to do is play and act accordingly. I like to let people know it's not a good day today. So I'm not going to be talking as much. Or it's not a great day today. So I'm going to have my headphones in and I'm going to just lock in and try to get through this work. And it's okay to have those days. And I wanted to let you guys know that I'm still a human as a CEO and it takes a lot for me to do a lot of these things. So this week was crazy. I had a Q&A call that went an hour over with my students. I had a bunch of emails. Whenever I have Q&As with my Fashionpreneur Academy students, I get emails after because it's super lit. It's exciting. So they have more questions and I have to, you know, stay up late and make sure I get those questions answered. I haven't been sticking to my schedule this week. I haven't been making sure I eat this week. Like, I mean, just taking care of myself. I haven't been eating properly this week. I gained 4 pounds last week and then I lost 6 this week because I haven't been eating properly. I have not been taking my herbs. One thing I love is a good skin routine. I haven't even been doing my skin routine at night, y'all. That's the one thing that make me happy at night is Netflix and my skin routine. I haven't even been doing my skin routine. Like, I just haven't been doing what my normal frequency. And it might sound like champagne problems, but it's not because I think it's important that you take care of yourself and follow those sequences that remind you to take care of yourself. And if you don't, you won't. So I think that today was one of those days where I realized like, yo, I'm about to shut down. Like I'm about to burn out and I have to take a moment, literally. So that's what I'm doing. I'm starting back fresh tomorrow. I still have things to get through. I have another meeting tonight at 8:00 at night. And I have to get through that meeting and survive it. And then I have to also have interviews tomorrow starting at 8 a.m. And in between this time, before my meeting at 8:00, I have to still eat. I have to figure these things out. So I want you guys to understand the importance of taking care of yourself while being the CEO. I think that there's this facade that once you're a CEO, once you're an entrepreneur, everything's just going to be free. You're just going to be so free. You're going to have all the freedom in the world. Yes, you're free, but you also have to schedule things so that you're not overworked. And this was one of those weeks where I was overworked. So I think that you become a little moody and irritable when you are overworked. So I think that it's important that you take this time to follow that plan and that strategy that I talked about. So for October, like I said, I always in the month of October write out all of my goals for 2021. I list them out. November, that is when I begin to formulate them by month and quarter. So that's what I do. And then December, I start to formulate the team that's required to make these goals a reality. I follow this every year, and it's always, like I said, a lot of growing pains with that season because it requires a lot of shifts for these plans to be in play come January 2021 or January of any year, right? So I'm at a place now where we're in the middle of that. So this is where Hey Fashionpreneurs, I hope you are enjoying this entry of the Fashionpreneur Diaries, but I wanted to personally invite you to my brand new masterclass, Wholesale Vendors Decoded. I'm going to teach you how to launch and develop your fashion line, no matter if you're looking to purchase wholesale or become a brand new fashion designer. We're going to cover it all, and it is very quarantine friendly, on a budget. I know things got super real, super quick this year, so I want to help you understand how to effectively launch this brand on a budget while in quarantine. It's still very possible, and I'm still seeing 6 figures a month, and I want to help you do the same. All right, so make sure that you register now at thefashionpreneuracademy.com. January 2021 or January of any year, right? So I'm at a place now where we're in the middle of that. So this is where it's crucial that we don't give up. This is where it's crucial that I keep my eye on the prize, because if I don't and I get comfortable, we could be overlooked, and I don't want that to happen. So I wanted to just come here and remind you guys the importance of taking care of your mental while you're building this business. And a lot of people that listen to our podcast, they are part-time entrepreneurs. They're full-time employees. They work 9 to 5. They go home to husbands, wives, kids, and then they try to still create this dream. I talked to a girl in my program that told me on our last Q&A, she sent me an email and she said, "Hey Jess, I had to actually log off the last Q&A early because I went into labor. Can you send me the replay?" I'm like, yo, like I can only imagine the mental space you're in. And she said her and her baby are in and out of the hospital, but she's still trying to watch her lessons. I'm like, yo, people be having real life stuff going on. And I was like, you don't want to like take a moment? You don't want to, I was like, congrats, but like, forget this Q&A right now. And all she's thinking is, I got to keep my eye on the prize. So I can't be mad at it, you know? So I think it's just crucial, though, that we don't put too much on ourselves. I remember when I was in college that happened. We had a classmate that went into labor and came to school the next day after having her child. The next day. Like, she gave birth and was back the next day. And I was like, her stomach gone. Oh, my baby. I just had my baby. What? I was like, what? Like, is this even mentally okay? But I've never been in these positions. So I just want you guys to know that you have to know your boundaries, and you have to know when you need to stop and when you can't go any further. So today was one of those days. And I just want you guys to know that during these times, what I do is I like to pray, I like to meditate, and I like to take a second to be with self to make sure that I'm the best leader. So do that in your personal life and apply it. When it's just not a great day, it's just a shitty day, like just try to take that moment to say, am I being the best leader? Do I need to be around people, or am I just kind of giving them energy that they don't even need? And the one thing about energy, guys, is it doesn't die. It never dies. It just goes to the next person. It just transfers. So be careful who you are around that has great energy and not so great energy. And including me right now is one of those days you might not want to be in my circle, because I'm not in a good mood. It's a long day. I just want to get my work done and go to sleep. Like, all I can think about right now is my bed. That's all I can think about. All I can think about is how hungry I am. Like, that's how I feel. And I wanted to tell y'all that I'm normal and I'm human. We've never had like a conversation about these things. Like, I think another thing I wanted you guys to know, everybody always asks me like, Jess, when is the next Fashionpreneur retreat? And the Fashionpreneur retreat, if you don't know, is our amazing annual conference that we hold in LA. It's a 3-day conference. Day 1 is a garment district tour. We take you to factories. We take you to the wholesale district. Day 2 is classes and workshops all day with my accountants and my lawyers. We have a marketplace where you can shop with our brands. And then day 3 is this huge gala where it's like open bar. We give awards and we dance the night away. And 2020, we did the event. We weren't able to do day 3 because of COVID, but we did day 1 and 2. And I remember while being there, like I always do this event because I know it's so much bigger than me. But I remember this year, before we even did the event, I told my team, like, yo, I think this is the last year we're going to do it. And they were like, no, what? We cannot stop. We have to do it next year. And then COVID hit. And so obviously we can't do it next year. But I remember the first day of the retreat feeling so unhappy. Like I couldn't wait for it to be over. And that's real. That's real. Not because I wasn't enjoying the people, but because my body was so drained and overworked. Because I wanted this event to be so great, and all I could think about was COVID. Because all I could think about was the food sponsors that didn't show up, and we had to find someone else. The money that was being spent, and people weren't showing up as far as our vendors. We sold out at the event. Everybody came to the event, which was a blessing. Everybody was there that was supposed to be there. Like the tickets were sold out. The attendees were there. Every seat was filled. But I still felt so unhappy because I had to be responsible for so many things that could go wrong, and that was scary. I kept asking everybody, how are you enjoying the event? How are you enjoying the event? Because I want everyone to have a great experience. And everybody, oh, it's great. I love it. But all I kept thinking was, I need our surveys this year to be killer. All I could think about was the result instead of enjoying the experience. And it made me not enjoy the experience. And I realized, like, at the end, on day 2 at the end, because we didn't get to day 3, my team and I, we were in the room as we were cleaning up. And they were like, all right, so next year. And I said, y'all, this is it for me. It's no more Fashionpreneur Retreat. And they were like, what? How could you do this? No, we cannot do this. We got to have year 5. I said, first of all, there's a pandemic, and we're going to be heavily relying on sponsors. It's bigger than me. There's sponsors involved. They're not going to have the dollars to invest in this event. We didn't have sponsors for the last 2 years. I invested everything. This event cost around $90,000 to do, and I had to consider that as well. I had to also consider the people that come. I want them to be very ready to work with these facilities that we take them to. I want them to be able to work within them. I want them to be able to work with their vendors. So I want to do more qualifying to make sure that the people that come are the right people. So we're still going to do events. It'll more so be things that are like one-day events that aren't as tedious and strenuous on the body. Like some of the attendees was like, yo, I'm tired. Like this tour was legit, but I don't want you to check out, you know? And I realized that I need a break from planning this. We planned this 18 months in advance. And I also had to think about, what do I want my future to look like? I want to be married. I want to have kids. I want to buy a house. I want to chill. I want to raise my family. I want to start investing into things that make money for me instead of me working for the money. And I realized that this event takes up a lot. It consumes me, and people don't know what goes into events, and it was a lot. So I had to choose my mental health over that. I was like, yo, I don't like the way this is making me feel. So I decided to take a break. The Fashionpreneur Retreat was awesome. Y'all can check out the videos. If you missed out, boy, you missed out on a once in a lifetime experience. I don't know what could happen in the future, but I know 2021, we taking a break for sure. I mean, it's impossible for us to do it with COVID. We're still on lockdown out here in California, so it's impossible. But I was planning on taking this year off anyway to decide what I wanted to do after that. So we'll see. But yeah, I wanted you to be very vulnerable in that moment and share with you guys, like, I needed a break. So know when you need a break, man. Like, know when you need a break. And it's okay to take a break. Who cares? Like, people ask me every day when the next retreat is, and I say, I don't know. First of all, there's a pandemic. So I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know when we'll be able to gather safely in the manner that we need to. Like, our retreat is not in one room. Like, we go to facilities, we go to factories, we go to vendors. That's impossible to do right now. I don't know when that'll be normalized again. So if ever. So I've just been taking a break, you know, from that. So I think it's important to realize what makes you happy and what doesn't. Like, when I took my break from my podcast, I was like, nah, y'all gotta get back in the podcast. Like, I don't like this. This is therapy for me. Like, this is helping me through my day. So I want to make sure that the things I do make me feel better, not like it's a challenge and I have to do it because it's a service. So yeah, this is a season, guys. So I just want you to know it's okay to not be in the mood. But if you aren't, don't do things that don't make you in the mood. Like, I feel like we always normalize that you got to do what you got to do, but you also have to take care of yourself. And I'm an advocate of that in this season. So I want you to do that. I want you to enjoy your holiday season. I know this was a quick entry, but I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And I hope it helped you just get through life today. All right. Stay inspired, stay motivated, and don't go around nobody with that bad energy. Okay. Make sure you protect it. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all next time. I would say organize the team that's necessary in order for this to become my reality. So to